and it is good to go.
I was like,
What? Not me.
I moved to order the meeting at 4:34. Roll call, Rubito.
We are now entering our General Assembly meeting for Thursday, February 29th, 2024. At 4:34 PM, recording that. Now doing roll call for Executive Council, President Giovanni Michaud.
President.
Thank you. Vice President Administration Finance, Kai Brito, present. Vice President Legislative Affairs, Maggie, I think I just saw her. Where is she? Oh, she's online.
Yeah.
Interesting, okay.
She was walking around.
Yeah, I swear I saw her. Okay. Vice President Team Development, Matt Crowder.
Present.
Thank you. Vice President Public Relations, Michael Mullen.
Present.
Thank you. Advisor Sean Green.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Angel Avia. Angel, wait, is he not here?
Present.
Okay, I got you. That's fine. We will put
Present.
late because I thought he was gonna be here.
Who is this?
Senator Sierra Brunner.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure.
Well, now it's
Here.
Senator, it was, there we go.
Oh, was it the other brother that I was?
No, I was asking, that was Maggie.
Was
Senator T Clearwater.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Kodiak Kessel, is he excused?
Oh, did I get a message?
Really? Maybe he messaged me, but my phone is broken at the moment. Senator Danny Her.
Present.
Thank you. That was very professional.
Yeah.
Senator Kennedy Washington.
Probably still doing something with training, with the job, but I'm not working on
Okay.
it.
Senator Cameron Wilkin.
Present.
Hey. Okay. Senator Katrina Willis. Katrina.
Present.
I was gonna say, I trust she's here, but
No,
there we
I'm
go.
present,
And
thank
Senator
you.
Stacey Brunner. Stacey Brunner? I know you're there. Well, Stacy, if you answer in the next minute, I'll count you.
I think they're, I think they just dropped.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
they
that
did.
long.
Okay, maybe they're having issues, so we'll just put a,
No, I think they're present because you could see like they were.
There were, yeah, they might, yeah.
Thank you.
okay, we will do a temporary P question mark. But we do have quorum even with that issue.
Thank you. Approval of the previous minute. Yes, I'll approve. Motion by Senator here. Any second?
Me, I second it.
Three quarter seconded. Any discussion? Oh. Okay.
I'd like to thank.
I am here, I just-
Advisor Green, yeah, that's that.
Gotcha.
Thanking, Advisor Green for stepping up and recording the minutes.
Thank you. We need a communication coordinator. I'm not gonna say that. That, the dictator is trying to pull like, I'm like, nope. I'm not doing that. Okay, any other, Senator Willis, you have your hand raised.
No, I was just gonna make sure that you all heard Senator Bronner say that she's here.
Yes, I got that. I will update that in a hot sec.
Thank you. Senator Brenner, oh, yeah.
Thank you so
okay.
much.
Thank you. Everybody was in favor of approving the previous meeting minutes, raise their hands.
See one hand on mine. Two hands.
Well, so that's a majority with 7.
Okay, thank you. Anybody who is against approving the previous meeting minute? If we didn't have everybody. Okay, that's me, everybody else is abstaining. Reading and approval of the meeting, agenda.
Yeah. I can second.
Okay, motion by Vivi Quarter, second by Vivi Brito. Any discussion? Senator Wu, can you have your hand raised?
Yeah, it was on under announcements B for the team development mock meeting. I was wondering if we could table that for next week when I can be in person.
Accept it.
If not, it's okay, but I know I'll be there next week for it if we do it.
Accept the friendly amendment.
I will also be present next week if you did it next week.
Okay.
So then we have a motion, it's
Made
been
by-
made to amend the agenda, to table it, we just need someone to second it.
Vivi Brito, second.
Okay, so then, voted approval and,
Okay, I think it's, you accept it as a friendly amendment.
Yeah, she can choose to accept it, so my second stays with her.
Okay, everybody was for approving the meeting, I think that amended tabling section B, stay after the General Assembly team development meeting for video projection, raise your hand.
got two hands,
Yeah, seven's the majority.
Okay,
that's
that's
three
five.
hands,
That's five, you know, the are two full,
Yeah, it's enough.
okay. Okay. Do, that's it about is here?
you have not seen them online yet, and it hasn't.
Okay, I think we have a guest.
Do we need the table at all? He might be coming. I was just in a meeting with him until like 4:15, just before I saw you.
We can
And-
adjust them as needed.
Okay.
You have the power to do that.
Yeah, just like when he comes.
Okay,
Yeah, if it's on the agenda, then he has the power to
Okay.
move anything he wants.
okay. I forgot who was coming. Otherwise I would have said something to him to remind him. And then I passed him when I was running back upstairs.
Okay, thank you. Have guests?
Yeah, I have
You're
a
wondering
guess.
if you were the guest.
Oh, I have a guess. So,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
thank
the
you,
one,
Mike.
yeah,
Thank you for introducing.
I'm introducing my guest. That's Hassan. Hassan, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Hassan. I was here previous semester with Wilfred. I wasn't involved in the center or whatever, but I just attended a couple of meetings and I'm interested for next semester to join. I'm still looking at the positions and considering them. But yeah, I'm interested for next semester's weekly meetings. Yeah, I'm still looking at the positions, what fits me and with the time, so.
Yeah, we're looking for a communication coordinator.
If you, I don't know if, maybe, Joe tell you that, we, like, after 3 meeting, the end of the semester, you can. try-
Yeah, Maggie told me that, like, if you come 3 meetings regularly, you can join us.
Yeah, and then after, like, for next semester, you have to have someone like, you know, like campaigning if you candidate to, what program you're in?
I'm in biology program, taking out GW transfer. Yeah.
Thank you. We're gonna go to the next item, report from officer, advisor, state government, executive council, president report. We didn't make the announcement and send them the email, but, in the executive council on Wednesday, we voted for Senator Avila to be part of the IT, our representative for the IT council, and also being a member of the public relations, not in the law. Other thing is, on Tuesday, as I previously said, I previously promised, I went to, regional campuses, I visited Portage and Reedsburg. Portage was, when I went there, it's not a lot of traffic. I didn't see, like, I think I only seen one student was like tutoring and, I talked to 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 someone who work at front desk, because right now they don't have a campus manager. And like they sharing a campus manager with the campus manager for Reedsburg. I learned so many things about like what is the struggle, what resources they have over there. And I think for me it was a great success because I promised I was gonna visit the regional campuses, and Reedsburg and Portage was the one I never visited. I visited Watertown, Port Atkinson before. Like we went to Campus Fun Day over there. Yeah. And the other thing you want to talk about is the election. The deadline's still the 3rd. We don't make any decision about extending it yet. Maybe we're gonna be, maybe not, but if you're interested of staying in Senate, you still need to submit your application by Sunday at midnight.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the other thing is we need to, like I said the last meeting, the election is not about the candidate, it's about Senate. And we have to promote, I have to say thank you to people Senator who was tabling this week. And if anybody is interested, we still have tomorrow to tabling. And even after the candidacy is like the candidacy is closed, we can still table for the election because the election, people can still writing as a candidate, and we need to have more people voting in the election. Other than that, I think that's conclude my report. Any questions?
I have a question. What's the sorry if I can't answer the question. What's the application from the 25th to the 3rd, till the 3rd?
Oh, the 3rd is Sunday.
So the gap to submit an application was open from the 25th to the 3rd?
Yeah, it's still open till Sunday, yeah.
Until the.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like when there's like only 10 days to do the application, why it's not longer?
Well,
That was the discussion we were having.
So that,
I guess, I don't believe that we had a specific thing on there that said that there was a start date
Oh,
and an end date.
okay.
The end date is
It's the 3rd.
But I guess if we want to do a hypothetical, the date, whenever you would like to decide is the start date to that, our end date of March 3rd. You could say the reason that it's so short is because we've been
Yeah.
doing other things.
No, there's a real reason why it was that short. When it started, the very first reason why it was like this, because I proposed that date because I wanted to get it all in the paper, because that would be the last deadline to get it in the March paper. So that's why I was thinking ahead of time for that, but we're not gonna do
And
that
then inform
anymore.
us that we had.
No, that's what it always was, because that was a paper deadline that I asked from Doug, and then that's what me and Ellie, when I asked Ellie to set the deadline for
I
that.
don't believe that was something announced at the Senate. That's what I'm saying is that I just felt like that should have been a little like tip
Oh.
that you threw it somewhere. It's
Oh.
like, just to let you know, I want to make this paper, so please, let's like.
Yeah, no, it definitely got like left behind, so.
You do a lot of things.
So yeah, in some ways, it's both, I'm both responsible and it's my fault.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Hashtag blame time.
thank you for
Yeah,
your
thank you.
question, and I hope we answered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Administration and Finance Committee, Brito?
Yeah, the big thing that's gonna be happening today, at least, is discussion of the 3-year plan. So we'll be going over the presentation that me and VP Crowder will be presenting tomorrow. That we'll have to carve some time out tomorrow for. So I'll talk to you a little bit after this so we can schedule the time tomorrow to do that. But we're finalizing that all tonight. And then for our physical 3-year plan, I'll be doing the presentation tomorrow. That was like the big thing happening in regards to that. Which will be on an agenda item later. But the thing that happened in our club meeting is that La Raza, so me and Senator Clearwater were there, and La Raza officers like Cole and the gang came. So Cole is the treasurer for La Raza Unida, and he wrote a big proposal to have the spring break trip approved for it. And some certain items were not approved. But what happened was that he came back with like invoices and budget projections and I don't know, just like ideas, I'm much more culturally relevant to the mission and vision of their club. So I was very impressed with the material he came up with. And obviously, we had a discussion about what it was they're going to be doing. They substituted the aquarium with a hybrid spoken word, like artistry dance event that's going to be in like hybrid language with like Spanish speakers. There's going to be food there served at the venue too. It's going to be
Puerto Rican food,
Puerto Rican food.
Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
but yeah, essentially Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
but they call it Puerto Rican. I know this because I live with a Puerto Rican person who's very intent on the pronunciation.
Yeah, so that's the cool thing about that. So like when we came up to them, they didn't get, maybe they were a little upset, but they came back, they're like, no, wait, we can do something. And I think that'll make the trip a lot better. Cole promised to get all the people to take photos. Luis was the president last year, so he'll be, not the president this year, it's Fernando, but I'm sure that Fernando will also take pictures as well. And they all seem very excited about it. They might be having up to a max of 35 students. There might be, so it might not be quite 35, but that's why there are two budget projections. So there'll be a difference between 1,700 for transportation and 3,500 for transportation. So it might not even cost the full 4,200 approximately that they requested from the student budget, which is below the 5,000 that clubs are allowed to have. So they did their homework. They researched a lot of options, and it might not even cost that. That's just the max limit they can spend up to. But in all likelihood, they probably won't. So they did a good job, and that's probably what all clubs should be doing. So thank you, La Raza Unida.
Mhm.
And that's the end of my report. Any questions?
Any questions?
Okay.
Thank you. This is our community video.
Yeah, yes, last week I wasn't here, but the legislative seminar was very successful. And we get to do some, we did play some games, we had some presentations, and what else did we have? We visited the Capitol, met with some legislative and somebody like Amalde and the assistant for Chris Larison. And they answered so many questions that we were asking with how to get childcare, affordable childcare, and like accessible childcare, and how they can help with those things. And then this week, I've met with Advisory Green, and I'm doing some tabling to help with, student senate elections and other stuff. So end of my report.
Thank you.
I'm gonna table tomorrow.
Okay. Any questions? Okay.
I was just wondering if we had thank you cards or thank you notes that went out to the Wisconsin representatives that we visited with.
We had letters that were officially read out.
We have letters and,
Maybe that's something that we can put on your radar to have you and your committee work on that, because that's actually very great.
Angels here.
It's always a great courtesy.
it is, I mean, I did send like a thank you letter.
You did.
Yeah, that's what I sent, and basically just to thank them for their time. And the other one that couldn't make it, I understand they have so many things going, was Senator, what's her name? Agar, she was really busy, so I totally told the secretary, like, I really understand. And I, thank her. Because they called, they responded, they called. She was really, wanting to pay us, but I think our schedule that day was really tight. So at first she said yes, and then the day after, I think, was it Tuesday? Or Monday itself, they called and said there was no possible time that they could be available on Tuesday.
That sounds great. I just wanted to make sure that we had something go out thanking them. So
Yeah.
show our professionalism more or less.
Yeah, I did that.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Some development committee reporter.
Sure. So team development met yesterday. We basically went through our list of action items that we came up with. We divided out the duties. We are hoping that next Thursday after our meeting, people can stick around so that we can do a mock meeting for our Blackboard, so that we would have one that has actual student senators in it, versus the one that we have up there now that has 4-H from, I don't know what decade, but I'm just saying. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going. Oh, and I needed to yield a moment to Senator Clearwater to touch on the Bad River.
Yes, the Bad River documentary that is coming out soon. There will be a showing at the MoCA Center downtown, the Museum of Modern Arts and I can't honestly remember the whole acronym. But after that, it will be in select theaters across the US, and the Bad River Band is actually directly involved with the production of this documentary. And 50% of the proceeds from the movie showings will go straight to that band. They are a band of the Ojibwe Nation. I
don't know how many people know about Bad River as a tribe.
With the conversations we had regarding it, it's actually will be something I'll be outlining in my report here that I'm crafting, because it drove another conversation, which I also believe I was supposed to touch on the powwow at this point, right? Correct. So simply is honestly the volunteer sheet for the powwow will be going live on Friday, and there is some more stuff I could say in my report, but there's a little bit of background knowledge I would like to share, because of the fact that there's a large generalized understatement about what the context of powwow culture really is, which again, I'll highlight a little bit more in my work.
I was gonna say, save that for maybe yours, just
Yep.
as mine.
I literally was typing it up when you called on me.
So, if you could please save the date of April 27th. And we're hoping that senators will attend and possibly volunteer as well,
Or donate.
or donate,
We are going to be
something
doing,
for a raffle.
yes.
Time.
Yeah. And the team development report.
So what's the event called? Just the.
It's the Madison College powwow.
Right.
Thank you. I think this year every year I say I'm gonna go. This year we'll go.
You should.
Yeah,
You should.
thank you. Public Relations Committee, give him a moment.
Thank you, President Michaud. The only update I have is going to be working on the next article for the Clarion newsletter in my report.
Thank you.
Question.
Yep,
Did you have someone review the last one? I didn't get a chance to look at it.
the one that we talked about.
No, the newest one, because I think I saw that one out, but I didn't get a chance to read it.
No, I didn't.
Okay, or it'd be good to do that
Yeah.
before you send it to them, because I just want to make sure that we're getting the actual pieces of legislation that we had, like the final documents. Because when they wanted them, they wanted it in a Word format, right?
They never specified.
Did you give it to them in a Word format or a PDF?
I did them all in Word.
Oh, okay. Well, if they prefer Word, because it's easier for him to
I was
translate
looking
it
at some
over.
of them from ours, Word versus PDF.
Yeah, just make sure you get the final version of
Gotcha.
that, that's all.
Okay. JP Crowder.
Thank you.
Remember.
VP Malone,
Yes.
I was just wondering, is there still space available, when we're doing our ads to highlight a club thing?
I believe so.
Then can we also add a save the date for the powwow on there?
Yep. Send me the information and we can do that.
Thank you. Any other question for VP Malone?
I guess you might not know this, but do we have any limited ad space? Because I know that we're like partnering with the Clarion and we like pay a certain amount for advertisements, but how much of it are we allowed to use? Like, is there a limit? Anyone knows the answer to that?
We have a specific size. Is that what?
Yeah, I guess I'm like, we can
Yeah.
get one in every paper. Is that how it?
Yeah, we have that,
Okay.
that entire, whatever, by the entire size
Yeah.
of the back of the page. Yeah.
Because is that gonna count towards our, because like technically we just we didn't have any advertisements in September or like October, right? So like it probably will be fine for us. to
Most
use-
likely, if we didn't have something, or it's a couple different things. Advisor room could have been putting, like playing the classics and putting something on.
Oh, okay.
Repeat, just so that, I mean, if you're paying the money, why not make sure
Use
we're
it.
at least doing something? Or yeah, it could have gone unused, but.
I'm saying if they were like, oh, we don't have room, we're like, yeah, but we paid.
Yeah.
So, it's just a little,
Yeah, no, perfect.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. We could tell them like, yeah, but it's contracted. So, all right, cool, thanks.
My question for you is, how many people, signed up for the tabling?
Tabling,
Yeah,
I know I was on there, I know Angel was on there. I think Kodiak was on there. I know there were at least 3 on there when I checked it.
thank you.
Take for tabling for when?
Like for the election, like the tabling,
You can do
the
that.
sign up Janice.
I would make sure that Carter can.
How do you want it recorded, since I basically tabled over at Goodman South and not insurance?
When?
On Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that it's recorded that I did table and I went all around.
I think that, yeah, but at the ET meeting, you did mention that you would, yeah.
Do we have something over there that's there to just to write anything? Is there something like a sheet or something that you can write your, because usually when you table, there's stuff that is on the table that.
Yeah, I know how to do tabling, but no, there's not, none of the satellite regional campuses have tabling materials yet.
Yeah.
They're on the agenda, or on the future budget. But basically what I do when I table over at Goodman South is it's just more effective to go around and talk to people. And I think people have seen me when I do that. Just a second. I just go around and talk to people. I go around and talk to the STEM. I go around and talk to the students in the cafeteria, hand out materials, leave some in the RISE office, and put them on the other 2 floors.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like the paperwork, usually when you go tabling, there should be a paperwork that you can write your name on and, time.
I think students might
Not-
do
There's
that.
not one there. That was just for that event.
I don't think they don't.
You mean like
do that.
Where you can put down your
Student
email
line,
address and
student.
stuff like that?
No, I think we
No.
have one of those, don't we?
We did that for the referendum,
We did have that before.
for the referendum,
Hey,
not for us.
If I may just clarify it so we could not have it go on, it depends from year to year, right? So, we want to obviously have some sort of information so that we can reach back out to the potential like senator, student who may want to be a senator. But that doesn't always happen if, one, we can't find materials, we need to get more materials, but yes, in a perfect world, yeah, we would have that, something like that, but to VP Carlos' point, we don't have, all the materials in and out of the other places, so that's problematic already, yeah.
We should have that though.
We definitely should.
Thank you,
It helps make
Thank
the job easier.
thank you. Advisor report, Advisor Green.
Yeah, I'll just, put down, explain on right here, so I set up tabling for 11 to 2, Monday through Friday, with the exception, of the people that I know, like VP Drusa, is going to table tomorrow, for example, VP Brito had been working on the 3-year plan, that was the priority that we needed to have that done, so that, the things like, VP Crowder doing the Goodman South stuff. It's listed as Truax, so it's like, how can you report something down? We had Michael, VP Malone said, that signed up to table, Tuesday. No one actually did any tabling Monday, but yeah. VP Malone, VP, Senator Avila, Senator Clearwater, and it's pretty much been like that.
How about today?
We had on Thursday, today, Senator Kerr also, looks like tabled for an hour, between 11:30 to 12:30. But that's it.
Yeah, it is.
Senator Kerr,
Yeah, and tomorrow, me.
yeah, what I would do is, I would honestly use this and actually put your name down wrong, because that's good reporting. I remember I offered the incentive, give me an hour of your time, and, though I did say that I wanted the president to effectively give the green light, I'll say like, you don't have to do it. If you have 4 hours that you have to do for office hours, if you give me 1 hour, I'll say all your hours for this week are good, right? That's to get the priority to be the table and should be the priority, which is a sweet deal if you think about it. And I'm, you know, I'm trying everything here to get you guys to want and see the incentive of tabling. But I did want to just also though, use this moment, but I'm gonna let, you, speak here in a second. I did put out that post about, an email last night about posting on Wolfpack Connect. If you haven't yet do it, please do it. I mean, we do have time left on the board, right? So, and just today, I sent out another communication to all students, using the student life account.
Thank you.
And we had the Goodman South seat, an application submitted for that. We had, right now, I'm looking at where we currently fall. We have, just for general centers, we have 5 currently. And like, I can go into more detail about all the other positions, but what I'm trying to kind of get at here is, I spoke with, Ellie about like, where should we be? Like in terms of, is this a problem, something worth extending the deadline to? I was reassured that this looks good. We had, last year was not part of the usual pattern. I mean, we had a lot of people submit applications, so, we need to get 5 more people is what we need to get to start feeling more, just really laid in and comfortable, right? We'd like to see every position that's vacant or every of the 20 spots have something accounted for, but to at least say that we have a good number so we can feel comfortable not having to extend it. She said, you're looking for that number of 10. So we're five off really. And, you know, she thinks it's doable, right? I think it's doable. I think that making those posts on Wolfpack Connect and it's just having that personal touch, that's going to be big, you know, and, you know, I already did, President Michonne's, for him, by, he has 3 of them that he can post on, because I did all of his, so like, we have examples so you can feel comfortable knowing what, how I'm expecting it to look, right? But that, I think this would be very helpful. I'll be sending out another correspondence on Saturday. It's a little bit of a weird day to be doing it on a weekend, but again, every bit counts. And, other than that, we have, I feel like we're doing good. It's been a long week, but if we're doing good, I want to see more cabling go. I want to see more push, right? That's it, man.
So the tabling is going forward to next week, right?
No, as of right now, it's going until Friday. Yeah,
Or next week, Friday?
no, this Friday, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so there is no extension as people were asking.
As of this moment, there was no extension.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a discussion in the executive council.
Yeah.
Extended it, we didn't come on a conclusion yet.
That discussion has to be, if it's going to happen, and it is going to be extended, that the ET has to get back together and make a decision. But as of right now, you know, nothing's been made, and that's why I'm bringing it to you and saying, I talked to Elliot, said, what are we looking for something that says if this is worth an extension and that we should be worried. And she said, those numbers are good so far. We need to get 5 more. And she's like, I know that they can get 5 more. Like she played it off like that was nothing, right? So let's show that. You know, like we just like to do that. I mean,
So you mean we can still extend it if we want among ourselves, like?
if the 18 feels that it is necessary to extend the deadline, that's your guys' power and ability to make a decision. And I'm not, you know, it's all that all I'm doing is guiding and giving you advising my advice, and making sure that I'm letting you guys make the best decision that you think is for the Senate, right? So, but you guys have to reconvene and just make that decision if that's the case.
So what do you guys think?
Well,
We're gonna have to make that decision in the ET, not EC, not here. Any other thing?
ET?
EC,
Executive.
Executive Council. Report from Special and Select Committee, Student Activity Board to be Brito.
For our Student Activities Board, last week, the Clarion and all four of their overarching organizations presented. And mainly they were asking for a lot of extra funding for print publications and for a lot of their material to exist in the online space. Some of those, because we're moving away from paper, it's going into digital. So there's, because you have to purchase things in the large bundles, they've reduced the amount of prints that they have, but they need to keep it at a somewhat large amount in order to make it worth it to print. So that's one of the issues that are coming up, like how much do we go digital versus how much we go into physical print. So there's that. But otherwise, yeah, their budget seemed pretty solid. They're working on collaborating more with other orgs like BFU, having open mic nights. So I think that's really interesting. And I really like the promotion of working with especially identity-based clubs, but overall just clubs in general. I think it's good to just have that cross collaboration. Our presentation will be coming up next, so I'll save it for then. End of report. Any questions?
Thank you. Textbook Affordability Committee, it's the Sierra Brunner. Sorry. So there's Sierra Brunner. Going once. Twice. Sold. Yeah.
I have a report.
I'm sorry, I was having problems with my phone.
Okay.
So I was like, I thought I got kicked out of the meeting.
Okay, do you have a report for Facebook Affordability Committee?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They were talking that, at the beginning of the semester, they found that they were at 6.99% of books not being returned, and they were missing 1,500 books compared to fall of 22, 8.86% were not returned, and the added outreach was successful by like letting people know via text, or rather email, the messages up on the TV. And they were looking at 937 students, and compared by that, for spring, 20,349 books have been checked out. That's up 2,800 from last spring. They're looking at the percent of students who were in programs that needed rentals. They were seeing an increase in the rentals. The cons were the decline in the purchased books. They're reducing the number of digital codes due to issues with possible wrong codes being given. The budget up is given, how did they put it? They're looking at getting the budget upgraded or whatever in May. They went to the board in December for a budget increase. Last year had a 1.6 million to spend and only spent 900,000. And for the OER update last week, had the first steering committee meeting, and they're still working on that. They have a grant that was approved for $3 million for OER and faculty stipends and paid faculty, and the grant will go through June of 2025. Next week, Open Education Week workshops will be available. And end of report.
Thank you. Regional Outreach and Engagement Committee, Malone.
The only thing I have is our next meeting will be next Friday at 12 o'clock.
Thank you. Transportation Analysis Committee, they can't, I think it was what we're gonna say, we can't.
Sand Parent Support Group, DP Crowder.
We have not met. We meet next week on the. We meet, I'm sorry, on March 6th. So I will be able to give a report after that meeting.
Public Safety Advisory Committee, for the council.
Since he's not here, I do know, currently we are looking at, setting up the different trainings. We have talked about some different options, stop the bleed, potential taser training, and maybe one other option. We're currently looking at dates and times. As soon as we know that, we'll get back.
Can you tell us more about this taser training? No one's getting actually tasered at it, right?
I do not believe so.
Unless we volunteered to do it.
I feel like it's more like an acronym than a real taser.
Are you sure?
No, there is it's gonna be like a taser like demonstration on like how to properly like use the training, and then like the stop the bleed possibly, and then like one other one that they're discussing, just depending on how much time we're gonna be allocated for it.
Is
So-
someone getting tasered? Can we volunteer?
That would be something to watch.
I have a question for the courses that I got signed up for, the Stop the Bleeding.
Yeah.
I like those kind of courses. I was wondering if there was any courses last semester just like that for any like, I saw also another course, self-defense course.
Okay.
It was on Wolfpack. I was wondering if there's more courses gonna be like that.
Yeah, I know, like self-defense and all that stuff, they're things that, we've talked about, like doing all those different types of like trainings, but just considering like time and what we're working with availability of what we have left for like meetings in the semester to do it.
Were there
We're trying to do like some of the things that might be quicker, but obviously like self-defense and all that stuff is still, pretty important as well.
Were they offered last semester? I didn't.
That I do not know because they just got the Public Safety Advisory Committee kind of like back up and
Yeah.
going, so
Okay,
these have been like discussions that were before and trying to just get them restarted again, so.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Inclusion and belonging court, DP Crowder.
I was just wondering are there still gonna be listening sessions, you know? at the-
Yes, we are working on that as well, so now it's kind of prioritizing both training and listening sessions as far as how we're gonna get them all in, get them all complete, figuring out the best area to have them. We talked about possibly maybe the D1630, depending on availability, and then just deciding what we're gonna do as far as like topics or how we're gonna do it, if we're gonna do it similar to like what we did at Goodman South, like having stuff up
Yeah.
around the room and just having people put their ideas down. And then at the same thing, are we gonna just do it for us or be able to stream it out to like the regionals and like do something that way too? But I think the focus is just here.
Okay. I'm just gonna, add to that and say, if there could be some consideration, if it does go to the regionals, to maybe collaborate, with, I don't know, my favorite word.
Yes.
You know, with us.
Yeah, because I know that would have to be kind of like if you're not just doing like Goodman, but you're going to the other ones, you have to do more of like a video option or something like that to like maybe get the most
And,
benefit, and then if there's similar things that are discussed, focus on those individual campuses.
thank you.
Thank you. Inclusion and belonging coordinator, Senator Clearwater.
Okay, yeah, so as some of y'all know, I started spending some time this week correcting, a like speech and everything for the students, senator presentation, where I include not just our general structure of the Senate, but I highlighted our new coordinator position where I expressed its importance in student leadership. I also outlined with VP Crowder in some future work to start and expect to finish in the semester in regards to the Native American community. Firstly, as mentioned before, powwow cultural significance and history brief. Ultimately, powwow is an intertribal evolution of former communication culture, trade culture. Under powwow culture, as we know it today, we have been able to aid each other in cultural preservation and even limited language preservation under even the most dire times. This and things in the modern image of Native intertribal popular culture would be things such as white sage. Its traditional methods of use, cultural significance, the history stories of its significance, and the request of other natives to act within the good relation principles that we as indigenous peoples have. As the knowledge of it spread along the powwow trail, so did the medicine itself. Now, at most powwows, you will find, and to our displeasure, many of our displeasure, purchase it. We ask that if you were to purchase white sage, you do so here at the powwows, as it both supports indigenous peoples, but it is highly unlikely to be poached, as is a current significant issue. Powwow isn't just a celebration, but a cultural exchange. And additionally, Wisconsin Native Nation Clan Structure and General Guide, expectations of clans and their clan members. For example, Shane Funmaker, Bear, he's a Bear clan, and their duty is policing. I myself, a Pamonikit, which translates to walks first. We are eagle, and we are the duty of blowing. Expressing clans, their levels of expected commitment, possible, just like what its possibilities like entail, or just overall, not really sure about how in depth I'm going to go with that. And expressing that it's not required commitment, but that you're kind of expected to just be a cultural bearer and understand and spread the duties and the knowledge of those particular clans and subclans and what the differences between principal clans and subclans are. And then further on, I'm expected to meet with tribal liaison Michaela next week and start to craft an outline for the next IBC and with a high focus on transition. So I'm kind of mostly putting most of my eggs in the basket of creating that outline to move forward with that. And I think bringing what, I have to share from my perspective and culture, and how, I can express these things through my perspective, is of benefit in this position to the next person. And that ends my report. That ends my report.
Thank you. Any question?
My question is, Senator Clearwater, can you make sure that you just
Send that to you?
send that report to me?
Yeah.
And that
Awesome.
also just thing would go along with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Report from regional medical campuses, Reedsburg, Senator Stacy Brunner.
No report.
Thank you. Watertown currently vacant, Fort Worth currently vacant, Port Atkinson currently vacant, Goodman South currently vacant.
I was just wondering if Reedsburg needs any tabling supplies, because I didn't know if you had a chance to leave them up there, because otherwise I could drop them off since I am in Baraboo and go to Reedsburg occasionally.
Senator Stacy Brunner, do you have any?
Or if we could email them to Stacy so that they could pass them out since we're doing that big push.
Yeah, I put some,
Yeah,
giving some flyers over there. But if you want, you can bring
Yeah,
some.
you can email me if you want.
Thank you. Report from College Assembly, Shared Government Council, College Assembly, Senator Air.
Yeah, there was apparently like an optional meeting maybe yesterday. So I'm not too sure what they did, but I think it's like they're trying to focus on redirecting what the structures of the college assembly, or not the college assembly, or the shared governance, and that's sort of like what they're talking about. But yeah, our next meeting, our official meeting would be next month.
Thank you. I couldn't make that one as well. I was in Executive Council. Academic Council, currently vacant, Diversity and Community Relationship Council, Rick Gordon.
I did.
I have.
Yeah,
Oh.
CRC.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that we have a meeting next week. I'm sorry, I'm very tired.
Thank
It's a long day. It was a long day yesterday. So, we have our next meeting on March 6th. And that one is at 2:00, and the other meeting is at 11:30, the one for the parent committee. You said you had something.
I was gonna update at the time. We also received our agendas today.
Yeah.
I guess I could go ahead and share what the agenda is. give me a sec. It's, we're gonna have updates, college assembly, and archive the DREAD, acronym of ATD, Flagstaff policy review, issue statement discussion. Those are our three main agenda items. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's on that, so that's me.
Thank you. Facility Planning and Investment Council, Senator Willis. Senator Willis. Senator Willis.
Katrina. Katrina's been sick.
Sorry, had a hard time getting unmuted. No report.
Thank you. And Finance Council, Brito.
No report.
Thank you. Information Technology Council. Soon to be filled, currently vacant. Institutional Effectiveness Council, Senator Castle. I was looking at you like you, Castle. Then after council currently vacant. Unfinished business, new client presentation, finalizing document for SAB, Brito.
Yes, let me do this quick so my phone doesn't die. My whole life with that phone has been an issue lately, but let's go ahead and get on the meeting and share the screen. Not that one, or that one. Where am I? I don't know, or Sean could pull it up. Actually, you're dictating, right?
Fine, yeah.
Okay, so we won't have him do that. I will do it from my computer. It would be nice to get up there, but let's join on here, get my camera on and share from my screen.
Yeah, let me like.
What? You want me to come up there? Actually, you know what? I could do that.
That was not what I was saying.
What? You're gonna toss my computer up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the air, and then you're just gonna open. You're
And I
not
was gonna
gonna
run and catch it. My window, which window? I have 54 tabs open.
That's not good.
I have way more.
That is less than usual. Okay, let's open here, share. It's the great thing.
I had a classmate once tell me that they were gonna cry looking at how much space I take on my computer.
Okay, I guess we can see us now. So I'm sharing my screen. From the top. So this is a presentation that I have not given over to VP Crowder yet. So this is what we'll be presenting. We'll be find a meeting to talk about it very soon. I just have to do certain things tonight, but this is our cover page for our 3-year plan and budget. I wanted to get a majority of the people from WSG there. Here, I'm kind of in the way, so I'm going to move over to here. I wanted to get a majority of our Senate there. So a lot of people are there. Some people are missing. Unfortunate that Cam and Giovanni were going to be there, but wasn't able to for the photo. But we got a lot of people there. Sierra and Stacy Brunner were able to make it. I know it's hard for them to get out here, but I thought that was really nice to have a good photo with them in it and just like having fun being at Senate. But we got a lot of people there, and that's our like cover photo for it. I wanted to present these photos here just along with our mission statement. So obviously I'm just going to read out the mission statement, but I wanted to put these ones here because like our involvement with identity-based clubs and just talking about like representing all students. So this is Senator T. Clearwater with the vigil for the 27 trans, non-binary, two-spirit, and gender non-conforming individuals who died last year, and that's what the vigil was for. There is me and former Senator Mong Long, now President of ASA, along with Avi, at the Hmong New Year, and this is the actually photos from the people who attended the message with BSU, as well as who else hosted that?
Oh my God, there were so many people.
And BWAG.
BWAG, there were a gazillion people.
Okay, we'll work on, you'll
But I
take
can-
that
I
one.
can- I
You'll
have
work
one,
on
so I
that
can-
one. So that's why, but that's like the idea is we emphasize to them how we're involved on campus. Next slide, the representation, more again, so we'll just honestly just go through these things, but the reason why I want to put this one, this is our photo from our Goodman South Town Hall. So I just want to present that. Here we are at Goodman South, making good in our world for regional campus advocacy at Goodman South, as well as other regional campuses. So obviously we didn't make it out to many of them. Giovanni did, President Giovanni Michelle did that, but these are the kind of things I wanted to talk about. So this is what we're gonna emphasize here, the regional senators on that. Obviously, they don't do a lot with this, but they don't need to know that. And we do listen to, we just got a text affordability report today. Obviously, Kodiak's been leading up the public safety and then the student media board. We had Katrina was on that last year to appoint Kelly, but I know they don't really do too much beyond just like these days, beyond just appointing the Clarion. But I think it's good to just mention that we have it and that, you know, at least there's opportunity for us to like participate on it if we have it. People ask, then we can be transparent. But there's so much in this presentation that I don't think we need to linger on that. I just wanted to mention that. We're obviously going to talk a lot more about student government later on in the presentation. And this will come up again about the district board meetings when it comes to the roles of the president and such. But here's our video, so I can actually just play it. Does the music play? There it is. Oh, that would be fun for a presentation. No one did that in an SAT presentation yet, and we're about to like one-up them so hard with all these photos. Okay, time to mute. Okay, there we go. Anyways, we'll talk about that. So this is what authors get down to, but beyond what they actually do, I don't know if I want to put up another slide for each of the work, but basically the president like runs the show, make sure that we're keeping in line with the 3-year plan. He also is the chair for the executive council, as well as the SAB, obviously he was there, and for all the student senate meetings. He does a lot more things around campus, just like in terms of visibility, and making sure that, also going to the district board meetings and any other duties as assigned. Obviously, administration and finance takes care of the budget and the office hours. Legislative affairs is going to take care of the election, any of the legislative pieces like the bills and resolutions that we pass, and the Wisconsin legislative seminar. Public relations kind of does it all with our news communications and making sure our image is there. And team development, well, Annette will be able to talk about that. So Annette, I don't know, we'll figure out how we want to split this. But these are the things. And basically, I think the big thing is talking about how like the rest of them are senators and we all have our own initiatives that we want to like make happen on campus. And we'll be able to talk specifically to bills and legislation, which I included in future slides. So that's the kind of thing I wanted to talk about. And that'll be a chance for us to talk about the election upcoming. So we should talk about the election upcoming and be like, oh, we're recruiting more students. So yeah, I really do like that. I know, including a video, I think it's something that no one's done yet. So boom, let's do some things that people haven't done before. Does it exist? No. Oh, it's come back. Okay. Please work.
You want to get extra style points if you do this at the meeting or the presentation.
Oh, if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Love that. Okay. Yeah, right?
Wow.
So this is all our accomplishment events. And obviously you can't read it because we've done so much. And can you guess something? This isn't even all of it. This is just 3 months worth. So we've obviously been here from all the way, we've since been operational, so all the way from June 2023 to now through almost the end of February 2024. But this is not everything yet. So we're going to obviously take some time to go through some individual pieces of accomplishments. But I just wanted you to get a sense of this is all that we've done. It's in the 3-year plan, which you've all read, I'm sure. So I'll say that to SAB and they're like, yeah, we read it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna quiz you later. And then I'm gonna make good on that promise later. So just you wait. Accomplishment resolutions. We're just gonna go through our resolutions. This obviously, so our very first one in June, I don't think we should talk about, should we talk about the contentiousness of it? Or I feel like we shouldn't, like unless we wanted to highlight.
One
this
voice.
Okay, one voice. Yeah, I was like, that's why I wanted to ask everyone here. I was
Talking
like,
about what it
could
is, but
be-
not.
well, it could be a good opportunity.
If they
to
ever
talk
bring
about,
it
like-
up.
They're not gonna bring it up. I doubt anyone will, because no one there is gay.
So many other queer identities.
I know, right? Well, no, but like queer, I guess. No one as far as I know.
John has a question.
Yeah.
I just thought, do we want potentially, as you were still taking, input, do we want to just suspend the rules for the?
Oh, yeah.
I'll motion.
I guess I am the, okay, I
You're next in line.
accept that. So, motion from Malone, who put it up first.
Oh, then seconded.
Well, what was the motion?
Yeah. Motion to suspend Robert's rules for the duration of this.
And now seconded?
Yes.
Okay, vote by unanimous approval. If no one opposes, then, we will be approving this motion in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's how you do a meeting. Let's go. It is now suspended for the duration. Perfect. Resolution number one, I'll tell Giovanni what I did when he gets back in there. By the way, I made some rules up while you were gone. Okay, resolution number one, it's LGBTQ Pride Month, resolution, just to kind of, like recognize and celebrate, the LGBTQIA plus community. And I think the important thing there is to talk about how we want to have more identity-based, resolutions. So that months like Black History Month, which we didn't get to make one for because we've been busy, but we can backlog it. That can be the first thing we do when we get back from spring break. Because I'll have time to work on it. So let's do some research over spring break. So this is, I think this is an opportunity, not to talk about the discourse, but to talk about opportunity, or to talk about what we want to do next, which is to go back and for the months that we didn't have and have those resolutions. So I'm gonna have to come up with the ones that we're missing and have like a list ready. And I think you can too. So I think we can both talk to that. So I think that'll be good for both of us.
You
to
can also
talk about.
potentially pitch the upcoming one that I've been working on with, I have my free time.
The upcoming.
The gift cards for the art department for.
Yes,
the
I
dress
think
up.
we could talk about that, and with that, that'll be resolution two. We should talk about, pending resolutions. I think there's an opportunity there, but I will not forget that.
Okay.
Might need to talk to you like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Or
for
like
not getting
tonight.
that forward already.
Or if you just send me an email, like with a paragraph, I can just honestly read it, so I'll just insert it into there. So that'll be good. Resolution two, Protective Emergency Services Week. There's a picture of us, because that was in collaboration with one of the biggest events that we did during that week. We had some coffee and chat at the Protective Services Building. Senator Malone, well, now Vice President, at the time Senator Malone, but now Vice President Malone, spoke at a 9/11 Memorial Remembrance event. And obviously we partnered with the Volunteer Center in order to put all the flags out on, to set up for 9/11 and then take it down after 9/11 was done. So that was so much good. And obviously here's me and a current SAB member from the Volunteer Center, advocating for the student activity fee restructure, which we had to pass the student senate. We wrote the bill, we had to listen to a presentation from the SAB, and then obviously we passed it. So I'll be just presenting that to them, reminding them, what is it that we do? Like, we have to pass the legislation as the government body of the college to make sure that these things can pass through. Or can, be approved, because that's how it's formally recognized. That's how our resolutions are formally recognized. So then here's our bills that we did. Again, we referenced guidelines. That's what allowed us to have 4 weeks worth of marketing time. So thank you to Annette and the others who worked on that. I think that was Cameron, and I'm not sure who else majorly spent a lot of time on that. It was maybe Maggie. I don't know. 4 people spent time on that. I don't remember who did it, and then obviously everyone after their initial work, reviewed it and stuff like that. But I'm sure you can talk more about that. And then, there's T Clearwater, so I want to put T up there as the inclusion belonging coordinator and the work that they're doing. Maybe we can talk about you just mentioned about the events.
The powwow?
Yes, the powwow. So that would be a good opportunity to talk about the powwow and other work that you're doing. Maybe mention that the river thing.
Bad River.
Bad River, yeah, we can mention the Bad River as well. So, yeah, the opportunities here.
Yeah, I can touch base with you about the reason why, kind of using it as a springboard into that position as exemplification. Because one of the requests as the racial equity chairperson I had was to create resources so that people can, especially students that can act as resources for these things, so that they can not only educate themselves, but help students in times of needing to seek sensitivity. So like in times of conflict, potentially with some other student or something, or they need some sort of perspective help, they're able to go to somebody within the student leadership and get some guidance that way.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Please send me that by tomorrow. So that's what we need to have fully finalized. I don't think this is the right photo for this. I need to look into it, but basically I want to talk about what has Senate historically accomplished. What are the biggest things? I think these are the 4 biggest things that I can think of. Obviously with the textbook affordability being a really big one. So maybe that should just be first and everything else should be after, but I know I like the idea of food pantry. So they're all good things.
Take a look at the on the website, photos.
Well,
I mean, you can
Thanks
just
for that.
copy and paste them right in there. I mean, yeah.
sure, I will do that.
I mean,
This
there
is
was-
why I was presenting now, because I wanted to hear feedback from you all, so I'll take a look. It's on our current website right now?
Yep.
Okay, so I need to go on that website, update that, so that's one thing I can do, but I need a photo that really highlights that. I don't think this is it.
Yeah.
You have a.
What about a photo of us meeting with one of the legislators?
You want me to put that there?
And then moving up the OER.
I'll put it
because-
first, and then us meeting with the legislators, okay, Samba?
Sure.
I think, yeah, we can do that. Okay, we'll do that. And, oh, okay, that's why I was like, I didn't think I put that there. Yep, and this is where we're talking about, that's also not there. I wanted, I think I have these mixed around because I think he was supposed to be on this one where it says President Michaud traveled to Washington DC. I'll need to move that because I wanted to talk about legislative seminar, right? So this is not the legislative seminar, this is WSG. Okay, so I mixed some things up. So there's an opportunity for me to learn from my mistakes because they don't quite match. But these are good photos, I think, of us doing things. There's President Michaud and Mac, as well as some other members of the cabinet and the board on there as well. So we'll be using that, but yeah. We'll need to update a few of these. It's not like it's wrong, but let's get more details in there and then, match things up appropriately with the photos that are there. So we'll talk about Wiscor here and we'll talk about Madison College hosting, current representative, Wisconsin State Representative Francesca Hung and her chief of staff, Nana El-Nakashfi, who, having her come there, having Dr. Daniels come there, having Giovanni read a statement on 9/11, because that was, on Veterans Day, because that was Veterans Day observed. I think those are big things to mention, that we accomplished and that we did. We hosted that. That's big. Oh yeah, remaining plans. So I wanted to put, this is an early photo. Obviously, Senator Ogaga is there and Inez and Priscilla. So it's like former members, but I think it's still good because, we did a presentation at RISE. So I'm gonna need to come up with things to I don't know if I even need to, but this is what we're doing. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine to have this photo here, but maybe we just talk through it, and I think it's fine, actually.
You were gone a lot, some things happened while you were gone.
I made some rules happen while I was gone.
Rules changed.
I love how you live with this.
Any president should have to put a hurricane on their head
That's what happens when you leave the room. Well, you don't need to raise your hand.
That's right, that's right. I think with that photo that you should add something up above and literally put in there that we went to the RISE, what was it? I'll find out the exact name.
RISE Workshop Day.
Yes, and
Okay.
basically did a presentation, informing students, because that's a whole nother group of students that may not always get the detailed
I
information.
think maybe what the plan is, we'll say that, we plan to do it next year, just like we did the previous year. 'Cause these are
There we go.
remaining plans, so we talk about, this is what we're gonna do and this isn't quite, 25, we'll do this next year, just like we did last year, because that'll be the connection. So good job, together we prevail. And that's why, so you're right, things need to be more relevant there, so that's good. More plans there, so, 3-year plan to college, this is very, basic stuff that we'll be doing here, so I don't know, this is just what happens, and then I wrote about NACA, so that'll come up in the finance presentation about going to, the National Association of College, I don't remember what it stands for, I gotta get that done tomorrow.
What?
NACA.
NACA, National Association for Practice Activities.
Okay, I'm gonna work on that.
I was wrong.
There's a lot to each presentation, so I gotta work on some stuff, but overall, I feel I feel good to be ready for tomorrow.
This is a good slide to be on, because I've been wondering, how much time do you have, and do you have time for breathing when you actually do this presentation?
So it's good cop, bad cop, so.
And please, no copy.
No more coffee.
I'll just make sure it's intravenously. So that'd be funny. The reason why I chose this photo is because you can see the online stuff in the background. It also features 2 more of our Senate members, so I thought it was good to have that.
And it's a swearing in too.
Right, it's swearing in too, so I thought that was kind of good to, you know.
Yeah, I'm in the background.
Right, yeah, there's even more people, but you know, there's more like to have this online, like this is who shows up online, so I'm gonna emphasize that when it gets to, when we're literally here tomorrow, so I think that'll be good. But yeah, obviously we just kind of go through it, maybe we'll just like switch off, maybe every 2 we'll switch off, so I'll say like, you know, online meeting participation, you know, we have people, you know, log online, that allows them to have the opportunity to go from home, they don't need to come to campus every single time, but they can still participate in this remote working environment where workplaces allow that option. So we should be modern with the times and allow that as well. But obviously still want some of our in-person, still some of our in-person time to connect and collaborate and just be effective with each other as human beings. So like finding that balance. And you know, some positions, like we lost members after the fall semester. So that's something to think about. And I guess Annette will talk about, you know, we'll just keep switching off where maybe it's natural or something like that. We'll talk about it. But yeah, these are the things to talk about. These are the challenges. I don't know if there's any more challenges you want to put. I feel like this is good. And you know, it's some limitations that we have. Yes.
I feel like it's covered twice. Many positions vacant after fall semester, a large turnover of Senate members going into next year.
So maybe
Yeah.
combine it into one then. Okay.
We could just like be like that lead over into large turnovers.
We will do that. And then maybe I'll censor this.
No, I feel
might
like-
put something else.
I feel like it's not really the same thing.
Even if
Because-
it's not quite the same thing,
You could-
it reminds people that we had a large.
You could
turnover.
go with one or the other
Yeah.
wordings, which is the more effective wording.
The only time you want to remind people of things that are negative, remind people, you want to do repetitive when it's something positive that you're trying to stick in their head.
Mhm.
It's a marketing concept. We don't want to remind them that we had a large turnover
So the very
and that we might have extra dollars.
Oh my God, the very first thing I'm gonna say, this is a presentation where you're gonna give students that money.
Yeah.
Keep
We don't want to give them
challenges. It won't be a challenge to give us money. Now let's talk about. I'll keep coming up on it.
Because if you go with the
That'd
last
be the
one, it's more
buzzword.
of like motivation for people to like, okay, we got all these vacancies, okay, it's more of a motivation.
Well, you can
Run rather than say.
Yes.
brings up the
this is how it
coordinator
is, and
position.
it's-
The what?
The communications coordinator, that
Should I
should
bring up the communications coordinator position?
No.
No, okay.
It's an internal Senate
Sure.
committee position.
I
I
didn't
mean, and
think
we're
about that.
covering it either way. We
Yeah.
had one, we lost one.
Sure. Yep, and this is the slide where we get to talk about all the things that we did. This is opportunities, collaboration. We want to collaborate with members of the SAB. Here we are collaborating with the Volunteer Center to put up flags for 9/11 Day, setting up those flags and having other students take part in that as well, and having an article written by the Clarion. Here we are, and then Annette, you'll talk about this since you coordinated that, and then I'll talk about this. Here I am with Jean-Pierre, passing out like food with peer health educators for the covered food pantry. I was also getting food that day too, but it worked out that day. So you can use it and you can also help them. That is a collaboration part. And then you'll be able to talk about, we'll be able, like Annette, you attended the PTA. Is this really bad? Why is this so blurry? Is this blurry? It's very blurry.
Is it blurry on
I
yours,
don't-
though?
I don't think it's that. I think it's more like the lighting washes out a few people's faces.
I'm gonna work on that.
Is it blurry on your show, your?
Not.
No,
like that.
no, it's fine over here. Yeah, it's definitely just that's the lighting.
We'll have to work on that then. Okay.
Because over here, it looks way better, like, the third person in from the right,
Mhm.
like, her face definitely washes out significantly in
I
there.
don't
You
know,
can
this
see it.
reminds me of the rain where all the people that are gonna die, their faces are blurred out. Okay, anyways, here's Kodiak and I talking to Representative Dave Murphy about Wisconsin grants, a modernization of with financial aid and the Wisconsin grants update in the legislature, which passed, by the way. But we were doing that report for the Clarion. Here we are at PTK. So 2 Senate members were inducted into Phi Theta Kappa. So like we're pursuing academic achievement and making that happen. If there's other photos, I would like them because anything involving the anything we do with Plunks is ELT. So like I already put some stuff from the meeting. If there's more stuff that we have, I think I have actually.
Do we have anything from The play.
If you want to send me the play stuff, because my phone is broken, so I can't access
That was
it.
a lot of fun. Oh, I'm remembering it.
Oh, wait, I have it from the diner play. What's that
Yeah.
one called?
Yeah.
I have that photo.
Bus stop.
Bus stop. I
You
have the bus stop.
basically supported everyone that's in that room.
Okay, yep, I'll put the bus stop one in there. But I also would like photos that I'm not in. That'd be good, because I have a lot of ones that I'm in there, and it makes me look self-centered. Although I am.
I can see that.
You look active. You look active. That's what
Hi,
I
I
would like
have
to
a
say.
question.
Yes.
Sorry, you mentioned the Wisconsin grant. I didn't, could you say, what is that?
Yeah, so that's basically for anyone who gets financial aid, there's the Pell Grant, right, at the
Okay.
federal level. Wisconsin grant is the additional supplement for if you qualify, like it used to be 0 EFC, now it's like 0 estimated like student aid index. So with the student aid index, you'll get additional funding from the state to fill in the gap for any educational.
Is it the same, sorry, is it the same as the state funding?
Yes.
Like when you get FAFSA, you have like the state funding and.
Yes.
you have-
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, that's what funds that. Yep, so they modernized it to make it so that if you're attending 6 credits, you're not penalized as a full semester. Now that's partial. So you can go to school part-time and get your,
oh,
wow, you have
I'll
it.
take a picture.
Wow, VP
Yeah.
Crowder for the
Okay,
win.
truly. I would love it if we should bring copies of that tomorrow.
Yeah,
What
probably.
day?
Probably.
Okay, let's get that printed out.
We took out the top here.
So yeah, I'm not gonna print out the whole plan, by the way, Sean. I'm just gonna send it out and,
Yeah, I didn't know about this legislation.
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at your screen.
It does look.
That's fine.
The other schools are ridiculous.
Okay, we should be.
Compared to the other one.
Yeah.
If anything, you want me to do the other one back more.
Thank you.
Because that way you need. That one gets. That part or that one.
I don't know if we're at 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We probably exceeded 30 minutes, but I don't know.
Well, we're really ahead of schedule. It doesn't really matter, but.
That's fine. Anyways, the reason, oh yeah, because of Mark Thomas. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, yeah, so if there's any any clubs, photos that you have that don't have me in it, I would appreciate that.
So what
Just
would
like
you
not-
put it under if it was a club?
ELT is the or student organization that manages all clubs. So
Okay.
if we're part of a club, then we're being part of ELT. Because ELT manages clubs.
And it'd just be good to have as many photos as possible.
Yeah, cause I take a lot of photos, but
Yeah, NASA, we just recently touched back on this on Wednesday. We're not taking enough.
yeah, so if anyone has photos, like if you have photos for BSU, I would appreciate that.
Oh, I can send you the picture I have.
Larasa.
No, not Raza.
Hmm.
It was like the Junti, it was.
Oh, yeah.
What about yesterday?
There was a lot of-
Was here.
What about yesterday?
I know, we were there.
I was running around. I did not think about photos.
Well, we
Rebecca had a photo, right?
I think so.
just asked a bunch of their.
Definitely.
Oh my God, you're president of BSU, I can, give me any photo. And I can just talk about you being in BSU.
Yeah, and then you can mention that and just be like.
Yeah,
This
because
is
you'll
just
talk
how-
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you get to talk about your experience, so that's perfect. I'm not the only one. And then we'll talk about the internal stuff that we do. I didn't get a chance, this is where I ran out of time to get to it. I thought this is a fun photo of us, just hanging out at Student Senate. This is like our fun thing, so I don't know, we'll talk about like internal team bonding and stuff like that, us getting to know each other. And I don't know, just working together, like getting stuff done and having fun too while doing it. So, and that's where the club, like, this is where we talk about like, oh, you should like join if you want. I know you're in other orgs, but you can vote, but they probably won't, but that's fine.
I would
You
take-
just need to make the pitch.
I'm gonna take this moment, because like, we kind of talked about the Bad River for team bonding, and I completely forgot to tell you the dates, the 23rd of April. Mama,
Give me that in an email, please, please.
Or just take a picture.
Yeah, it's hanging up in the office.
I cannot take a photo right now.
We will take it.
And then don't text it to me, because I also can't receive text messages.
Don't worry, it'll be an email.
I can email, I know how to do that. Okay, so yeah, this is our point, we'll talk about internal stuff, which is definitely, your game, your area of expertise. There we go, our new goals, campus sustainability, Goodman South, and regional campus outreach, that's the same stuff, so we're gonna keep the same alumni relations, I'll need to pop that in there. But for our goals, one of the things I wanted to do was put a timeline on there, obviously I have not updated this says student senate, Goodman South, and stuff like that, so I need to do that. But we're getting there. And this is transportation, which I didn't update, so I updated the wrong slide, but that's okay. And now it's not DIAB anymore. So clearly I didn't get through all the way in the presentation, but we have time before tomorrow to do that. So, yeah, I don't have much that there for you for those three things. This did change, and this is our current funding plan for Student Senate. I'm thinking we should actually move this up, so people can read it. Because things at the bottom, people don't look at it. So I'm gonna move this up. I realize that now as I'm seeing this on the screen and thinking about visual hierarchy. But work. What? Work.
You slip it right over, you can like,
It doesn't look that bad. You see like no change. It doesn't look that bad. But this is only an increase of $200. This is a massive increase. So I don't know the percentage. But basically we had to cut our travel last year to NACA. And now next year, we should be able to go. So I think that'll be really good for us to have that travel again because, you know, they did that previously. And I just think it's good to see what other colleges are doing so we can learn about what it means. We have a benchmark for comparison. We understand, you know, what does it mean to be a successful student senate? Because if we only have ourselves to compare against, we can pat ourselves on the back and say we're doing good. We are doing good work, but we need to know what other people are doing so we know like what, so we have more ideas for how to interact on campus because it can inspire us further. Maybe they're doing something really awesome over at like, I don't know, a rural technical college in, I don't know, Kansas that we could be implementing here that we just don't know about. So that's what we'll talk about the travel, student help. We're not increasing it much. It's really just to give vice presidents a $100 increase to $1,000, the max cap of the recommendation in the student activity fee. What's it called? Funding budget for that level, vice president being the secondary executive officer, as well as an increase to our senator fund to the max cap of $750 per semester. So they're getting a $50 increase and vice presidents are getting a $100 increase just to kind of reflect the amount of work that's being done. But that's the stipend increase that's happening there. And that does make that go up to approximately $43,000 depending on how full our Senate ends up being for the year. So this is to think about this again, this is like a maximum cap. This isn't exactly what we're going to spend. And oftentimes we do spend underneath that because we are fiscally responsible students, especially with me hitting the finance helm of this. So I make sure to shut ideas down if I need to, but also we like to spend money when we can. So, and that's how we make good things happen because all the ideas that you had wouldn't happen if we didn't have funding for it. That was Danny's idea. So I'm here to tell you that I listened to your idea. And that's going to be like the end message that me and VP Crowder will bring home. And then this next slide back here.
Did you say something about that you were going to move the bottom part?
Yeah, I'm going to move the bottom part to the top.
Leave it there.
Leave it there?
Yeah.
Really?
Do you,
Okay, you want to?
I think it should
I'll
be
leave it.
there because it's at the bottom. They can see what we're asking for. And I don't think we need to put it in bright lights.
Sure.
It's too much.
Yeah, Sure. If everyone,
Too much wording.
yeah, if that's what everyone says, I'll leave it there. So I won't change that. So yeah, we'll leave that there. And, but the important thing to notice that yes, it does seem like a big increase from the previous year, but it's actually only a 7.64% increase from the request last year. And as most people, as some people in this room know, if you know any history of the SAD, there was a across the board budget slash of 17% for all organizations. So our budgets are looking kind of small compared to what it used to be. So in order to go up from that, you need to increase beyond the 17% to get back to where it normally was. So yeah, it is above that amount. But I think that for all the things that you've seen before, we've more than justified our existence and we're mandated by the state to exist. So you can't get rid of us as much as you might want to. That'll be my line to tell that.
I actually have something here that can, be further talked about when it comes to justification and stuff. Under the DEI is having a student leadership position guarantees that we will have DEI in our school regardless of current legislative attacks on DEI staff and faculty.
I think this will come with, I think accomplishments and events. Actually, no, it should come up with you here. And I think that's what we should talk about here. We should emphasize attacks in the state by like Robin Voss. Should we call out people? Yeah, you know what? You know who I am? I will call you out. Robin Voss, I'm coming for you. Just kidding. Don't like this. But this is a public meeting, so he could come on here, but he's not going to. But I was kidding. And yeah, we should talk about how this relates to DEI, because this is what it used to be. Our former goal was diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging. We've shortened it up to both match with Dr. Namira Grady's Office of Culture and Climate. So just be in alignment with the school, but also, it does provide some shelter from the attacks at the state of cutting funding that happened at the UW. So we're not, at the mercy of funding being cut. So yeah, it's both a good and a bad thing, but as long as we're able to do it, the naming doesn't matter so much. All that matters is that we're able to, give, put our money where our mouth is and say that we're actually gonna do stuff for students and identity-based clubs.
When it comes to the inclusion and belonging coordinator, so the reason why former Senator VP Elijah Lynn and I were really talking about belongingness, I was just talking to a VP Crowder about this, is because of first and foremost, student self-advocacy and agency in the classroom. That's where the belonging comes from, is being able to feel like you are able to own the space that you paid for when you enter a classroom, that you shouldn't feel marginalized once you enter that door, like you shouldn't have to minimize yourself to be participatory in the classroom, because ultimately this creates a sense of worth and even fear, which takes away from learning overall. It just dilutes ultimately our whole vision as well with being a community. Being a community-based college, like we're always talking about, we have a great diverse population. We serve, you look online and it says we have 100% acceptance rate. So we accept everybody. So we should really stick to that.
Right, we should not just accept everyone when it comes to their money.
Yes.
You accept them for their identity when they walk through that door.
Yes.
Okay, boom, marketing. Okay, yeah, that is the presentation essentially. There's some fun secret stuff that I'm not gonna share with you. I'll share with you since we're gonna present it tomorrow, but that is gonna be it. So I need to change this picture.
Oh, look, there's Elijah.
I know, right? You know what? Maybe we should just keep that. It's just kind of fun.
And it looks like that's that legislative, so no.
With a nice little throwback picture there.
Yeah, maybe a little throwback and be like, do any of you know these people in the room? Like, I wonder if people will know who they are.
Really?
Non-Senate members, though.
I know both of them.
You know,
Elijah,
Ella.
yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's
Okay, but we know them. So it's like, do you think like Alex and Maddie and
Maddie.
they should know
Maddie's
Wilfred.
Will?
Maddie was here last semester.
Last semester, but Wilfred wasn't really.
Wilfred was here last semester.
He like
Last year.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wilford.
Oh, yeah, my bad,
He was
sorry.
he
working
was
down
like
at Silver
he's coming back from Hawaii, but I feel like people that don't know to talk to him like know him, right? Whatever, it'll be a little test of like, does anybody recognize these people? Giovanni can't answer. So I'll say that. It'll be like, so I want this presentation to have a little fun moments in it. So I think this will be good, fun moment. And
Okay.
did everyone remember my, oh, what?
Okay, I think we passed the time.
Are we past the time?
Yeah, we passed it long.
Oh, track by chance?
Yeah, did you keep track of that?
Like, not to that extent.
I honestly double checked the remaining left of our agendas to be like subtract from 6:30, and I was like, we're still within our time regardless.
I do not have this, just, but.
Oh, on the, because some people gave some comments.
I asked like 10 minutes ago. I was
It
like,
is
we're-
going, it is going in, right? So.
This
New business, any new?
Nope, we have still something in unfinished
The
business
transcript.
with Kai.
Maybe I'll go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really don't.
Kai's got to transition to his next thing.
Alright.
next month.
Oh, I talk more.
Yeah.
Vice president position discussion.
So I'm gonna pull up the 3-year, though, the reason why I wanted to do this, because this is an opportunity to pull up the 3-year plan. So I read the 2 of your comments. So basically it was Senator Her and Vice President Malone talking about like the, what's it called? Like the duties of the communications coordinator and the inclusion and belonging coordinator being kind of a lot for the compensation structure. And just to, I do hear you, and I do recognize it's a lot. So just 2 things to address that right now. So here's like, for instance, here's what the president does, right? They lead actions, so 3-year plan is what I mentioned, be a spokesperson, all the internal stuff that they do, bring college representatives to come to the Senate. So like being that event scheduler for that, appointing people to committee and the executive council, meet with college administrators, boom, boom, boom. This is all a lot of stuff, right? So that's kind of what a vice president would do, right? Or sorry, that's kind of what, you think the inclusion and belonging coordinator has a lot of things to do to it. That's similar to what maybe a president or a vice president would do, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, with the student senate president, you get the title, so you can put that in your resume, your application, and
I see.
there's like not much compensation for the,
So when you get
coordinator.
compensation, you mean the title. Like,
Well, you either get compensation through money or the title or the experience,
So
or the opportunity.
financially, they're actually equivalent, because as a senator, you get $750. If we're giving the inclusion and belonging coordinator, which has to be a senator, and same thing with communications coordinator, they get an additional $250 on top of that, and they're making the same amount as the vice president. So financially, it's the same, they're equivalent, but you're right, they don't get the title, and that's something that doesn't exist right now, but, anyone else?
Yeah, I don't know if your point with the compensation, if you think that somebody in that type of position handling like communications coordinator should be getting compensated more for what they're doing.
Even more than what, the vice presidents are doing though?
No, I guess no, it's just like, maybe, I'm not really sure.
But I agree with you, it
It's
doesn't
not
have power.
it doesn't have a sexy sort of.
I love it, like,
Yeah, it doesn't speak to you, right?
yeah, it's not attractive.
So
Got
that's what I was gonna get at, is maybe we need to look at a name change for it. Like communications director or communications, something that gives a little bit more oomph, that looks good on
I
our.
knew you were gonna say,
Oh, Secretary of Internal Operations.
No, that sounds much more akin to legislative affairs when they say it that way.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll think about it.
Sounds a lot closer to what your role is on
Mhm.
state, because the VP of AF is technically the secretary, so, throwing that little.
Okay, I don't know, external facing affairs, I don't know, we'll think about it. Strategic communications, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know why is the issue, like, communication coordinator, it's like, if I'm going to like the legal field and I have a communication coordinator, it's like, I post, like, I was the communication coordinator for Madison College, that already covered my communication skills. Like, I don't see what the issue with the name.
I don't know, I don't wanna do it. That's all.
I'm not thinking about doing it, I'm thinking about the name, like, why we have to change the name.
Oh, it's just an
Yeah.
idea.
Just an idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know if you look at what the communications coordinator does, you could basically say a name change on it, like a VP of communications or something like that. And that's maybe more attractive for somebody like saying, oh, communications coordinator, all I'm gonna do is sit there and take the notes. Why should I take an interest?
So before we-
Even though,
Yeah.
even though it covers like the social media aspect and all that, it might be like, oh, this might draw somebody more in because you're not just focusing on the notes, you're focusing on different aspects, learning different
Yeah.
skills and like
Just to
that stuff too.
directly respond to
Yeah.
that. So the reason why we haven't moved anything to vice president is because we need 10% of the active student body to sign a petition and say, hey, we are considering this. And then do we need to vote on that too? Or is it 10% petition
And
good
you
enough?
need to get the president, the college president involved on it too.
Okay, so if we want to do this, it's not a this year thing, it's definitely a next year thing. That's why I'm like, this is just something to bring up, so I'm not bringing it up so we can change it. I'm telling you, this is why we can't do it, so I'm not putting it in through your plan. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm not doing anything with it right now. I think next year can address it.
Yeah.
If we want to still do this next year, let's just do it then, because we can't do anything about it this year.
That's
So, like-
that's why I threw it in there. Was like, okay, this is like future percolation of
Yes,
how
and
it
it
could
doesn't need
progress
to be.
based off of
Yes.
certain other things.
Cool, and it doesn't need to be in the 3-year plan in order for us to do it next year. We just need to come in at the start about it. So like, we know it, it's recognized, it's recorded into the notes and stuff like that. So that's all I'm gonna say. If anyone, last thought from Senator Clearwater, since I cut you off.
This was in regards to the name of the coordinator, the communication coordinator, so kind of offbeat. Is one of the things about like the differences between like a coordinator and like say an officership position is like coordinators execute decisions made by officers that they're under. So that is a massive distinction, and I have to make it because in another organization I've been involved with, there was a lot of problems with coordinators trying to make decisions, and that was very, very problematic because a lot of people just kind of started overlooking it, and it just ignored the chain of commands, and then it became a lot of infighting. So there's that.
Something to think about.
You're the one that tells a lot what the communications coordinator does.
Yeah.
Man.
You are right.
That's what makes you different from Brian.
That was the big thing from there. Otherwise, I think some other people had some ideas about the regional campus outreach. You asked some great questions. But and those are questions to think about. That's what you're supposed to solve in your committee, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't, unless it's related to a goal, 'cause it just seems like those are questions. I don't have the answers to them. I think that's what we're supposed to find out. So it's good to have those questions. That means that you have a lot of ideas to work with of what to do in your committee. But I don't know how to translate that into a plan because I just don't know the answer to that. So.
Point of order. Where were you, like, what, report are you giving? Like, are you in the 3-year plan or?
No. I'm using the 3-year plan to demonstrate the communications coordinator and the,
Yeah, but you're talking about the
Like
regional outreach.
yeah, reaching out. Well, that's part of the communications, or sorry.
Unfinished business item P is
Yeah.
really what this is now,
So
right?
from a,
Yeah.
from a question, inclusion of the learning coordinator,
Right.
are coincided with the communications coordinator because of the similar
But
responsibilities
that
and
we decided to table
in like what level they reach
the
that.
topic until next meeting, so that's why it's unfinished business.
Oh, I see.
You're doing everything.
Okay. Yeah, well, sorry, I did it a little, you're good. But yeah, so that's why we're talking about it. I think that's everything here, so. Is that good? Everyone's feel like they've addressed and heard?
I'll just send my fine point to you with what I
Please
see.
do. Yes, I appreciate it. Okay, well, that's it. No more sharing from me.
Thank you. New business, no business. Housekeeping. Please, I'm begging. I need a communication. plan. Announcement, our next meeting will be on Thursday, March 7th. Same room, 4:30.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Everybody was in favor of adjourning today's meeting? Too late.
You got one hand up.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I do it, I do the exact opposite. I make sure that no one raises their hand.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it next time. Everybody want us to adjourn the meeting, raise your hand. I see it.
We got 3 hands up now, right?
Everybody wanna go home. Thank you, I want to start the meeting at 6:10.
Then,
And off notes, tomorrow there's a visual for next, the indigenous non-binary spirit that was alive aggressively in Oklahoma. Tomorrow at Burroughs Park, 6:30 to 7:30.
oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, so when is, when?
It's tomorrow at 1:30.
Where?
It's here in this room,
Oh, in
this
this
very room, yep. Alex will be there. And I don't know if you know anyone else there.
Do you just have your hand up, Katrina, as like a residual leftover thing? Did you ever question or something?
It was 6:10.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sure.
Good night.
Hi.
Bye. See you later. You're awesome.
Does anyone know where Cody has been?